Hello, I'm Gillian Penman, a speech pathologist with the Fremantle Hospital Parkinson's Service and part of the Fiona Stanley Fremantle Hospital Group. This video is for use with your voice home program, and at any stage you can pause the video, fast forward or rewind it. So why are you doing the voice home program? Well, it's that old adage, with voice, use it or lose it, and use it to improve it. And as part of that, it's really important that you do regular practice at good intensity with good vocal loudness. And at the same time, make sure that you then carry that over into conversation and make sure you maintain healthy loudness, good intonation, lots of great facial expression in order to aid your voice. Now, some of the items that I go through today may differ from what your own speech pathologist has provided, so check with them whether you follow fully what I'm doing or whether you cut and paste in, so that you might fast forward through part of what I do and replace it with what your speech pathologist is recommending. So before we start, just a general reminder, make sure you've got good posture. Feet flat on the floor, hips at the back of the chair. Make sure that if your chair has got arms, that you're not sitting with the arms running along the arm of the chair, because when you do that, your shoulders are more likely to be lifted, which makes it very difficult to use your diaphragm when you're taking a deep breath, and you tend to just take short breaths from here. So if you've got arms with a chair with an arm, pop the arms out like a chicken wing, and that will help drop your shoulders. If you prefer, you can put your hands palm up and pop them in your lap. But if your chair's narrow, don't end up squished like this, because then your shoulders will pop up again. Pop them up on the arm of the chair like a chicken wing. So when you've got yourself with a good posture, also make sure you've got your water or whatever thickened fluids that your speech pathologist has recommended for safe swallowing. And whenever you do any voice, whether it's conversation or doing the voice home practice, do remember you should be using maximum effort but no strain. There should be no real effort. And also, you should never feel any discomfort or pain. If you do, stop, make an appointment with your speech pathologist and get them to check your technique. Okay, so let's go through the warm-ups. Now, you might have your own written home program, and you can pop that down next to you if you like, but we'll go through them together. So we're going to start off by doing 3 yawns. Now, when you yawn, what you're wanting to do is focus on how your throat feels. And when you're either in the middle of the yawn or you've finished, hopefully you'll feel your neck sort of softening and opening and being a lot more relaxed. And then you want to keep that nice soft opening as you go through your warm-ups. So, start with the first yawn. Now, did you feel any softening? So have a little focus, and then let's try the next yawn. Nice big yawn. Feel that nice softening, and then your third yawn. Now don't let yourself tighten up, keep everything nice and relaxed, and we're going to do the silent giggle. So that's where you're doing a laugh but without any voice happening, and you've got your diaphragm or your stomach bouncing up and down, and you've got nice facial expression. So here we go. And now a gentle laugh out loud. Next, we're going to move into the sigh. So again, there's no voice. It's just a big breath in and a gentle sigh out. and again. And once more. And after this, you're going to do the sigh, and then you're going to run it into an ah. So it'll be like this. Ah. All right, now you do it. Ah. And again. Ah. And the last one. Ah. Next, you're going to do the same sort of thing. You're going to sigh out, but this time run it into an E. So it'll be like this. He. All right, you do it this time. He. And again. He. And last time. He. Excellent. Now we're going to hum, so you can get your lips to vibrate and then run that into an R. So it's sort of like a chant. So it'll be this. Ma. Now you do it. Ma. And again. Ma. And third time. Ma. All right, next it'll be the same but with the E at the end. So you're going to hum and run that into the E. 1 and 2. Me. And again. Me. And again. Me. And that's the end of the general warm-up, getting your voice warmed up and your throat relaxed. So perhaps have a sip of your drink and then we'll start the heavy work. Okay, so now we're going to do those loud, long R's. So remember, you'll be taking in a good breath and you'll be using maximum effort but no strain. So we'll count you in with 1 and 2, then you take a breath and then you start. 1 and 2. Now, if you ran out of air before I did, just take another breath and keep going. If you could go for longer than I did, just hit the pause and keep going. All right. So let's do the second one. So the same thing, deep breath in. I'll count you in before we start. 1 and 2. And remember when you're doing this, nice wide mouth. Take in a couple of breaths to recover. Have a little sip of your water or your thickened fluid. And I'll count you in again. 1 and 2. Couple of easy breaths in and out. One and 2. Again, easy breath in and out, and then a sip of your drink. Two more to go. 1 and 2. Deep breath in, and remember, maximum effort, no strain. 1 and 2. Couple of deep breaths in and out, and a sip of your drink. Now we're going to do some of the pitch range activities, so low pitch to high pitch. And we'll be using do, re, mi. So I'll be getting you to go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Take a breath and then go backwards. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Now if you don't like doing do, re, mi, you can just use R's. You can just go up and down. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Or use whatever your speech pathologist has been using for this activity. So the slide will be there for you to look at. So let's go through and do it. I'll count you in with 1 and 2. Take in a big breath and then do the do, re, mi. 1 and 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And again, 1 and 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And again, 1 and 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And have a sip of your drink. Next, we're going to do some breath control. And I'm going to get you to count doing 1, 1, 2, 1. You'll have a slide to look at when you do this to help. However, when you do it, it's easier if you don't do it as a flat sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's actually easier if you go slightly up in pitch and then toss your voice up and over on that last number. So it's more like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It does make it easier. So have a look at the slide and we'll go through it. I'll count you in with 1 and 2, and then I'll get you to take a breath and we'll make a start. 1 and 2. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this last one, you're going to 10, so make sure you take a really good breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And remember, if you run out of air at any stage, just stop, take a breath, and then keep going. And the next time you do it, see if you can get a little bit further along and just gradually see if you can increase your breath control as you go. All right, so next we're going to start doing part of the singing segment. So remember, you're using exactly the same strategies as you use with your voice. So you are going to want to make sure you've still got your good posture, still got your relaxed shoulders, that you've still got everything relaxed, your jaw and your throat. And we're going to go through and do row, row, row your boat. And we're going to do it with good loudness, softly but not whispering, and then robustly with lots of enthusiasm. So the words are going to be up on the slide again, and I'll count you in with 1 and 2. So here we go. 1 and 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Now this time softly, but not whispering. 1 and 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And then robustly. 1 and 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So remember, lots of enthusiasm and nice facial expression. The next one you're going to do is Frère Jacques, and again we'll do it good loudness, then we'll do it softly but not whispering, and then robustly. And the words will again be on the slide. I'll count you in with 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Next, softly, 1 and 2. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. And then robustly, 1 and 2. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. And a well-earned sip of water. All right, so now we're going to do some of the standards which don't need you to think too much, although I am going to get you to also go backwards. So we're going to do the days of the week and the months of the year. Make sure you take good breath, project your voice with nice loudness and nice facial expression. So we'll go through with the days of the week starting with Sunday, and then we'll take a breath and we'll go backwards going through the days of the week. So I'll count you in with 1 and 2 again. 1 and 2. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Take a breath. Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. Okay, next challenge, months of the year. Nice and steady, don't go too fast. Good breath, lots of enthusiasm and nice facial expression. 1 and 2. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Take a breath. December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January. Okay, so you've got that little bit out of the way. And I'm going to get you to use your thinking a bit more now. And I'm going to ask you to name or list some different things. And each time, make sure you take a good breath, toss your voice with good loudness and lots of expression and good facial expression. I'll just get my list so I don't forget what they are. So, going to ask you to name the items, and I'll give you space in which to do it. So I'm not going to try and think what you might be naming. So the first one I'm going to get you to do is take a big breath and with good loudness, name 5 animals. Off you go. If you need more time, just hit pause and then start again when you're ready. Now, same thing, take a good breath, lots of enthusiasm, and name 5 trees. Take a big breath and name 5 flowers. Big breath, toss your voice, and name 5 rivers. Big breath, toss your voice with good, healthy loudness, and name 5 capital cities. Big breath, toss your voice, and name 5 things you can eat. Anything, it doesn't matter. Now this time, when you are naming your 5 items, I want you to name 5 things that taste sweet. Off you go. And lucky last, this time name 5 things that help you to achieve a good, healthy, louder voice. What are the things you need to do to achieve a good, healthy, louder voice? Off you go. All right, now have a sip of the water. I think you've earned it after doing all that naming. All right, so for the remainder of the home program, it doesn't really make sense for me to do it on the video because you'll each have individual extra items that you're doing to target your own healthy, louder voice. So some of you might have more singing, some of you might have some reading aloud, or the everyday phrases that you say all the time, and of course, taking your good, healthy, loud voice that you've been practicing during the video and using it in conversation with somebody else. So do make sure you use your voice strategies in every conversation. Don't just use them here when you're doing your voice home program. Take them and use them If you can do it straight away, do it as soon as you finish with the practice items that you've been doing. But regardless, whenever you're taking part in a conversation, make sure you use your strategies, whether that is taking a big breath, tossing your voice into the next room, whether it's using lots of enthusiasm or intonation, whether it's trying to make sure you've got nice facial expression as well, or slowing down as you talk. Whatever your strategies are, try to use them whenever you can, and engage or get your family and friends involved so that they can help prompt you. Don't try and remember to do it all the time on your own. Make use of your support network and get them to push you to use the best possible voice that you can. Because remember, you're always trying to use the voice that you used to have, or as close as you can get to the voice that you used to have. And that's why you're doing the home program. You need to remember, which is on the slide, regular practice with good technique is key to supporting you use good quality voice, healthy loudness in conversation. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching, and keep doing the regular practice. Bye.